subcomponent, welded components.
Hi, welcome to another Tomcat video. In this video, we're going to take a look at the welded components of the Project Mozart frame, as well as talk about the CAD and the design of how the bike is coming together. Let's get into it. So here you can see the design of the frame and frame brackets for Project Mozart. I had a blast designing this. It was such an interesting and creative process. Kind of will explain some of the weird nuances here. The way I designed these brackets, and this is a little bit out of plane here, so I can move this back in. Here we go. The way I designed these brackets was so that it could both be held with these kind of clamp shapes, but also be tied directly to these plates. And that allows for structural strength this way and also movement this way. So really interesting kind of design challenge, design constraints, which made this like very strange kind of creative outcome, which I had a blast working on. I made a bunch of sketches and really worked through like what I thought the forces would be in the frame and like kind of intuited how to attach them. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not. This is kind of like my intuition of what would be structurally sound. Another kind of interesting thing is there's mixed materials happening here. So this area is good. This seat tube area and bottom bracket area has a mixed material. So the seat tube is steel, bottom bracket steel, this bracket all is steel, and then the other parts are aluminum. And then the frame is then lashed to the aluminum. So kind of what's happening is the aluminum is more forgiving and it can work with the lashing and the tube. And also kind of corrosion won't happen, and it's a little softer and more forgiving, so it will interface with the lashing well. And then the frame, being steel, will be structurally more sound and more rigid. And the steel will be painted so that it will, when it connects with the aluminum, it won't corrode, hopefully it won't corrode in those connection points. But it's this kind of creative mix of materials that I really had a blast with, like aluminum, steel, and then lashing. And like how those are all going to kind of blend together. The rear dropouts, these are a little bit out of plane as well. So you can see here, let me just move it out here. Here we go. This aluminum tube is going to be lashed to this aluminum bracket, and then it's going to clamp it down this way on the flat face, and then also in this kind of C-clamp kind of configuration, and then this is all going to be lashed together for structure. So I just really had a blast working on this design problem and kind of thinking through how it would work. And let's take a look at how it's going to come together, and we'll take a look at the physical part of it and send out files. There's still some kind of things here that I'm going through and kind of sending things back and forth and prototyping. Essentially getting pieces back that look like this, and then working with these pieces to dry fit and test fit and kind of make small adjustments. So really having a blast with this process, and let's see how it turns out. Alright, so for this frame, I have just the steel parts broken out, the parts that are going to be welded. So at the front here, we have a head tube from Paragon Machine Works. It'll look like this, 200 millimeter head tube, and then steel brackets, mild steel brackets that are laser cut. And those are going to be welded along here and along the inside. And then at the seat tube area, we have a top bracket and a bottom bracket. And the bottom bracket area will have a bottom bracket in it, like this. It'll be 100 millimeters wide. And then this bracket for a center stand, so we can have a nice center stand that holds the bike up, rather than a kickstand where the bike leans over. Be a little bit more stable. So let's take these steel parts, assemble them, and weld them together. And then we'll build them in with the rest of the bike and see how it goes. Okay, that's the end of the Tomcat video. I hope you enjoyed it. In the next video, we will be working on bending the main frame of Project Mozart. See you for the next one.